You slacker, go get a job at the factory! You slacker, go get a job at the factory! You slacker, go get a job at the factory! You slacker, go get a job at the factory! You slacker, go work at the factory! Go work at the factory! Go work at the factory! Go work at the factory!
I'd like to dedicate today's video to my job. You should know that, besides YouTube, I work as a lathe operator at a factory. I understand this might sound unbelievable, but it's true. Imagine this. After my shift, sweaty and dirty, having spent the day around big unshaven guys and unpleasant conversations with the management, I come home and, as if nothing happened, make cartoons for you. Yeah, that's just how awesome I am. And it's not like I just did some lame internship there, unlike some people I've actually been working there for a whole 2 years. Although, to be honest, 2 years is nothing, especially considering that at the factory, it's always been the norm to work your whole life there. So compared to most of my coworkers, I'm still a total rookie. Nevertheless, after 2 years working at the factory, I've developed a clear understanding of what the job is like, how management treats the workers, what the salaries are, and how everything works in general. So how did I end up at the factory? It's actually very simple. First of all, it was a job in my field. The pay was decent and they didn't hassle you. The schedule was reasonable. Plus, I was really lucky to get in there at all.
Those people who are always yelling, "Oh, you lazy bum, go get a job at a factory!" Have you ever actually tried to get a job there?
90% of the time, someone without work experience will simply be turned down for a job, no question about it. The factory director doesn't want fresh graduates. You see, he wants super hardworking, super professional 30-year-olds with the experience of 60-year-old veterans who are willing to work for free. At the same time, no one has any desire whatsoever to actually give you that experience. In short, getting a job at a factory isn't as easy as you might think. Secondly, at the end of 2016 I received my military ID, so I could now get any job without worrying about the greedy, drooling draft office. And my financial situation wasn't great either. I only started making any decent money from YouTube in 2018. Before that, for almost 7 years of my YouTube life, I was basically just drifting around trying to find myself. So one fine day, my dad says to me,
"Oh, you slacker, go get a job at the factory!"
And so I just went and did it. Now, about the job itself, my first impressions were mixed. When I got hired, I had no idea what position I'd be working in or what I'd be doing. The company itself is a huge area with workshops, office buildings, a clinic, a cafeteria, and bomb shelters. Basically, it's a city within a city. I'm sure you've all heard this before. At its peak, this place provided a livelihood for more than 20,000 people. The factory produces various communication devices for military planes and helicopters, as well as medical equipment. In the HR department, I was met by a man in his 60s, my future boss, who told me he was hiring me as a lathe operator. After that, I was in for a true bureaucratic hell. I had to collect certificates from hospitals and clinics, pay a visit to everyone's favorite psych ward, take a bunch of tests, and even undergo a criminal background check in the security department. But that was nothing yet. Ahead of me was the questionnaire. It was 5 damn pages long. Damn, I don't even know that much about myself, as there were questions on that form. And I had to fill it out without any mistakes, using block letters strictly within the boxes, otherwise I'd have to rewrite the whole thing. The first time I had to redo it was because I used lowercase letters, the second time because I made a mistake in one of the sections, and the third time I finally got it right. All the ladies in the HR department applauded me for that. I'm serious. And so, after a month and a half of all that paperwork, I finally got to the workshop where I was supposed to work. If you're lucky enough to get hired at the factory with no work experience, you get assigned to a mentor. I know it sounds like some term from an online RPG, but actually why not? A mentor has to be someone with tons of experience, points, skills, and a lot of patience. That's exactly what my mentor was like. Let's call him Uncle Vitya. He worked at the factory for over half a century and only retired a couple of months ago. Personally, I can't imagine how anyone could work in the same place for 50 years. The job of a lathe operator is to machine parts on a lathe from metal blanks according to blueprints, from your very first day until retirement. If you hated drafting in school and you're terrible at math, then being a lathe operator isn't for you. Since I came to the factory as a complete newbie, I made a lot of mistakes at first. Everyone would smack me with, oily rags, and Uncle Vitya often had to cover for my clumsiness. I felt guilty, so I'd run to the cafeteria and buy him coffee and pastries.
By the way, the pies there are honestly amazing. They're very cheap, fresh and delicious.
A bit later, I learned how to make all sorts of things. I turned the key for my garage, a dumbbell bar with weights, a bunch of knives, and a whole lot of other useful gadgets. In general, it's believed that up to 70% of the parts in any machine can be made using lathe work, so having that skill is definitely not a waste. The most important thing is to properly secure the workpiece or part so it doesn't fly out of the machine and smash into you or your co-workers in the shop. At the beginning, I remember helping Uncle Vitya. We made long, sharp parts he would do the turning, and I would finish them off with sandpaper. Well, either I didn't secure it properly or I missed something, part flew out and almost hit the shop supervisor. Lathe operators are strictly forbidden to work in gloves, because the spinning chuck can catch the glove and rip your hand right off along with it. That's why, after work, a lathe operator's hands look about like this. The hardest part of my job at the factory isn't actually the work itself. Our day starts at 7 o'clock sharp and ends at 1600. To get there on time, I wake up at 5:30, even though I usually go to bed at midnight or 1 in the morning. I just can't go to bed earlier, because there's a night owl and an early bird fighting to the death inside me. The night owl insists that the best video ideas come at night, while the early bird, damn it, has to be at the factory in the morning. In short, I go to bed late, wake up early, and am seriously sleep deprived. Because of this schedule, I can't even get a good night's sleep on weekends. I'm just lying in bed, the alarm isn't blaring, but then my sly brain kicks in, it's already subconsciously waking up at 5:30 and goes,
Get up. Salam alaikum. Get up. It's time for work. Are you sleeping?
So I end up getting up completely tired and unrested, but I can't fall back asleep because my brain is used to me working from 7 in the morning until 3:30. That's how life goes. You'll laugh, but in our workshop we had cats, actual cats, working there.
Hey, Shoes! The cat on the chat has totally sniffed too much valerian. Can you believe it? Starting next month, they're planning to pay our salaries in whiskers. Let's go pee in their slippers. Damn it!
It all started when one day a cat wandered in from the street right into our workshop, someone fed her, and she ended up settling in with us. And what do you think happened next? A couple of months later, that furry menace started dragging her whole litter around everywhere. At first, the cat family moved around very cautiously, but over time they got bolder and started walking around the workshop like it was their own place. One time I opened the rack cabinet and found out it had turned into a cat toilet. And in general, over the course of a few months, the whole workshop started to reek of cat crap. So we decided to catch these cats and take them to some shelter.
Hey, Laser Media, listen up. Here's the thing. You guys are just goofing off during the second shift anyway, so here's a Net for You tool for actively cleaning up cats. A unique invention that will let you easily and quickly catch any uninvited whiskered guests. Cats are wandering around the workshop like it's their own home. Just catch them all with the net and send them outside. That's it. Hey, Shoo! Get out of here! All thanks to truly the internet. Alright, I'll be back tomorrow, and if you haven't caught them all, I'll cut your pay.
Like many of my colleagues, I tossed the net into a corner and went back to my own work. But there was this one newbie fool who actually ran around chasing the cats with a net. I think he even managed to catch 2 of them. What happened next, I have no idea, because by then I was already in the process of quitting. Now, let me refresh your memory about the hiring process, because I have a feeling a lot of you might find this useful. So, first you'll be dealing with the HR department. There you'll find some rather indifferent ladies who will glance at your education out of the corner of their eye and half listen to your skills. And if you don't have any work experience, they'll tell you, we'll call you. By the way, a lack of experience doesn't always mean you'll be rejected. Most likely the factory just doesn't have any jobs in your field. But if there is an opening, they'll hire you anyway and teach you everything you need to know on the job.
So, what exactly can you do with this?
Well, I can sharpen parts, work with wood, I have a degree in civil engineering, a category B driver's license, I know how to treat houses for insect pests, I'm careful and vigilant, well read and respected by teachers, I can reinstall Windows, so I always carry a flash drive with the installer. I'm also smart and modest, godlike, strong and agile. There you go.
We'll call you back. Hello? What can you do?
I'm a certified specialist in nose picking.
Bold. We need bold people. You're hired.
Okay, let's say someone takes a liking to you. You'll be invited back to HR, but this time with the foreman or the head of the workshop where they found a job for you. You'll be taken to the workshop and told about the incredibly important work you'll be doing. And if everyone is satisfied, you'll spend a month running around hospitals and collecting paperwork. Oh, this damn bureaucracy. And you'll also have to fill out a ridiculous multi-page questionnaire. It might include questions like, do you live alone or with your parents, what are your close relatives' hobbies, and things like that. Who the hell needs this, seriously? Well, once you're finally officially hired, your cherished work days will begin. Personally, on my first day at work, I was pretty shocked by the fact that I now had a regular job, that I'd have to get up early, pack my own food, and somehow exist in the workshop every day for 8.5 hours. And that now basically I'm a slave. Which, by the way, isn't far from the truth, because the factory is a restricted facility with its own set of rules and laws, and on its grounds you're literally behind barbed wire. Nevertheless, I worked at such a place for more than 4 years. And you know, if I hadn't liked it, I would have left much sooner. The factory had a main production area and an auxiliary one, which is where I worked. The difference is that in the main area all the workshops are spotless, all the machines are brand new, and all the workers are well groomed and well fed. Meanwhile, our section looked like damn modder most of the time. They just hand us a crooked drawing, sketched out with their left foot, and tell us to make the part however we wanted. We also had to invent our own tools. If you needed a long cutting tool to bore out some ridiculous pipe, you'd grab a bottle, tuck it under your arm, and go to the welder to fuse two short tools into one long one. The crew was mostly made up of cartoonish working class guys who simply couldn't get anything done without swearing.
Yeah, it. We're stripping the workpiece. We drill all that shit, bore out the hole for the hex bolt, put a 2.5mm chamfer here, damn a flange here, hardness 60 units. Okay, hold on, goddamn.
The pay was steady but not much. I earned no more than 35,000 a month, but I still had time to run my YouTube channel, so I didn't complain. When I was in university, they paid for my exam sessions. When I went on vacation or took sick leave, that was paid too. Besides, I actually enjoyed the work itself. No one bothers you. You don't have to work with idiots, you don't have to feed your boss a bunch of nonsense or kiss up to them in every way. The most telling indicator is simply the results of your work. A few words about quitting.
So, the quarterly report, material estimate, fire safety. Alright. I request to resign of my own accord. Media laser? Well, that's a surprise. Have you lost your mind or something? Why are you quitting?
Well, basically, I have actually gone and gotten myself another job, you see.
What kind of a job is it?
Well, I'm currently learning computer programming, and it's quite an interesting journey. I make good money, by the way, and I don't have to go anywhere.
Programming, huh?
Yeah.
Programming. Yeah, that's a really good field, and it's quite profitable.
Yes.
Why are you talking nonsense, huh? He's learning programming, he says. Uh-huh. I know everything. You have a YouTube channel? What's it called? Media. If only I could remember. My 8-year-old nephew watches you, says you still can't finish that Maximka thing for the 3rd year in a row. And you're going to quit your job for this? Oh, you should come to your senses and give up this nonsense already. We've got orders lined up until 2028 here, and there's an indexation coming up soon. We'll give you a raise right now. And you'll work properly. Come on, seriously, what's wrong with you?
Oh, you know, Mikhail Sidorovich, I make so much money on YouTube. The ads on my channel bring in as much as 3 of your salaries. Got it? I mean, I really enjoy what I do. I'm about to hit 1 million subscribers. I wake up at noon and do what I love. And you want me to sit here grinding metal parts for 30,000 a month until I retire?
Fine, have it your way. Here's your resignation letter. Hand it in to HR, or don't. I don't care. You'll come crawling back soon enough anyway.
Oh yeah? I won't come crawling back! Farewell, falling apart lathe from 1984. Goodbye, lazy old cod-playing geezers. Farewell, miserable salary and waking up at 6 in the morning. Long live YouTube. Long live a free life and self-fulfillment. Long life freedom. I quit in August of last year, and it was insanely hard to do. First I had to convince myself that there was nothing left for me to do at this job. And if things went really badly with YouTube, I could easily get a higher paying job. And only after that did I have to convince my boss, who did everything he could to keep me. And no, he didn't tear up my resignation letter or threaten me with a bad reference. That wasn't the problem at all. The problem was that he was actually a really understanding guy, someone you could always have a good conversation with. Mikhail Sidorovich,
Well, son, again? Come on in. Come in, have a seat. Katya, would you be so kind as to bring some tape for my dear friend? And, do you like ribs? Ribs?
Yes, very much.
And ribs. No. You know what? Just bring the ribeye steak right away. We have a special conversation today. And as an aperitif, let me offer you this vermouth. Yes. So, what is it this time?
Oh, well, today I wanted to ask for the afternoon of Mikhail Sidorovich. So, it seemed like a decent salary, a stress-free job, and all sorts of perks. So, why did I quit? Well, first of all, I wanted to get serious about YouTube and finally relax a bit, because during the time I was working on my thesis, holding down a job, and running my YouTube channel, I was only sleeping 2 or 3 hours a day for a whole month. I just wanted to lighten my load a bit, you know? And the second reason was that as my lathe operator skills improved, I wanted a higher salary and a bit more variety. Less than a year ago, I couldn't have imagined that my YouTube career would hit a dead end. After spending these 8 months at home, I realized a few things. When I was at work, it was a break from YouTube, and when I was working on YouTube, it was a break from the daily grind. As soon as I quit, my favorite activity turned into a source of stress for me.
Okay. Bukhalkin Vitaly Lyudmilovich, milling machine operator. Accepted. Otgulov Alexander Krenovich, welder. Accepted. Media Lazarov Nikita Batkovich, turner. Aha, you came back after all. So, how are your internets doing?
I'm dying. Give me work. Mikhail Sidorovich, I'm ready to work for food.
Ho 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 ho! Oh, you'll wet yourself. Alright, Blokin, just recently a newbie almost got himself wrapped around the shaft on your machine. And you, after all, are our experienced one.
I can easily make a living in my field, so it's better to keep YouTube as a hobby. That's why now, as you're watching this video, I'm back to working as a lathe operator and I'm totally fine with that. That's how things are, friends. If you think that working at a factory is lame, dangerous and not prestigious, well, you're partly right. Sure, for some people, working remotely as a programmer with a 300,000 salary is better than being a lathe operator at a dirty, noisy machine in a smelly workshop. But you know, every job has its own appeal. For example, after 12 years of making videos, I'm absolutely sick of sitting at the computer and staring at the screen. Besides, skill trades are in short supply right now, which means that good specialists will get pay raises and better working conditions. If you enjoyed my story, or who knows if I helped you choose a profession, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And I'd also be glad if there are viewers with similar work experience. Leave a comment below. How do you feel about working at a factory? See you soon!